Chapter 7. How the Adventure Ended. And of course, what hung over everyone like a cloud was the problem of what to do with their dragon when they were ready to sail. And poor Eustace realized more and more that since the first day he came on board, he had been an unmitigated nuisance.
I say, I am glad to see you. Looking yourself again. You must have had a pretty beastly time.
It's true. I've been miserable. But tell me, why are you so certain I didn't dream about the lion?
I think you've seen Aslan.
Aslan? I've heard that name mentioned several times since we joined the Dawn Treader. But who is Aslan? Do you know him?
He's the great lion, the son of the Emperor over the sea, who saved me and saved Narnia. We've all seen him. Lucy sees him more often. And it may be Aslan's country we're sailing to.
I'd like to apologise. I'm afraid I've been pretty beastly.
That's all right. Between ourselves, you haven't been as bad as I was on my first trip to Narnia.
Neither said anything for a while. Great was the rejoicing when Edmund and the restored Eustace walked into the breakfast circle round the campfire. And now, of course, everyone heard the earlier part of his story. People wondered whether the other dragon had killed the Lord Octesian several years ago, or whether Octesian himself had been the old dragon. In a few days now, the Dawn Treader, remastered, repainted, and well stored, was ready to sail. It would be nice, and fairly true, to say that from that time forth, Eustace was a different boy. To be strictly accurate, he began to be a different boy. Chapter 8. 2 Narrow Escapes. For some 5 days they ran before a south-southeast wind, out of sight of all lands and seeing neither fish nor gull. Then they had a day when it rained hard till the afternoon. Drinian, who was on watch, was staring hard at something astern.
I say, we've just seen the strangest thing.
Can you see it?
At last they were seeing what so many people have foolishly wanted to see, the great sea serpent. What is certain is that it was a very stupid animal, for instead of pursuing the ship, it turned its head round and began nosing all along its own body. The Dawn Treader was already well away, running before a fresh breeze. After this, they sailed for 3 days more and saw nothing but sea and sky. On the 4th day, they sighted land on their port bow. And they saw neither man nor beast. It was a more interesting place than they had expected. A deep little mountain lake, surrounded by cliffs, and on the bottom lay a life-size figure of a man.
Oh, is it the body of a man?
Yes. in the sense that it's a statue of a man.
A gold statue from the looks of it.
That was worth coming to see. I wonder if we can get it out.
My boots! Get back! Get back from the water!
What in the world is the panic, Edmund?
Look at the toes of my boots! The water was just lapping up my feet, and now they're gold. Solid gold.
Why, Aslan, you don't mean to say that...
That water turns things into gold, and that poor fellow on the bottom, he obviously had undressed on the shore and dived into the water, and, well, you see.
And to think I nearly drank some of it.
What a narrow escape we've had.
The king who owned this island would soon be the richest king of all the kings of the world.
Yes.
I claim this land forever as a Narnian possession, belonging to Caspian, king of Narnia, and all his heirs.
Hang on. Who do you think you're talking to? I'm no subject of yours.
Oh, I see. King Edmund. Your Highness wants the gold for himself.
Seeing as I discovered that the lake turns things into gold...
You discovered it. What were we talking about? Before, I mean.
Odd. I don't remember.
Well, let's get away from this place anyway.
I have a terrible feeling I've been making rather a fool of myself.
Chapter 9. The Island of the Voices. And now the winds, which had so long been from the northwest, began to blow from the west itself. And they sailed and sailed before a gentle yet steady breeze. But when the very last day on which they thought they could risk continuing their eastward voyage dawned, right ahead, a low land lying like a cloud. It was a very different country from any they had yet seen.
Well, sire, what do you think of this place?
It's so quiet and empty.
Presently they came to a long, straight path. Far off, at the other end of this avenue, they now caught sight of a house. Lucy noticed that she had a little stone in her shoe. In that unknown place, it might have been wiser for her to ask the others to wait while she took it out.
Do you suppose it's the home of one of our missing lords?
Then came a voice.
What I say is, get down to the shore between them and their boat.
It was really very dreadful. Lucy knew there was no time to sit puzzling as to what these invisible creatures might be. She got up and ran along the path after the others as quickly as her legs would carry her.
Invisible enemies? And cutting us off from the boat?
You've no idea what sort of creatures they are, Lou.
How can I when I couldn't see them?
Now here's an idea. Captain Drinian, how would it be if we went down to another part of the bay and signalled the Dawn Treader to stand in and take us aboard?
The water isn't deep enough for her, sire.
Let's get on with it. We must go and face them.
They marched back to the beach, and when they arrived there and saw the boat lying where they had left her, and the smooth sand with no one to be seen on it, more than one doubted whether Lucy had not merely imagined all she had told them. But before they reached the sand, a voice spoke out of the air.
No further, masters, no further now. We want to talk to you. There's 50 of us and more here with weapons in our fists.
What do you want with us?
We want something that little girl can do for us.
What is it?
Well, it's like this. This island has been the property of a great magician time out of mind, and we were his servants. This magician told us to do something we didn't like. He fell into a great rage, for he wasn't used to being crossed, and he put a spell on us, an uglifying spell. If you saw us now, you wouldn't believe what we looked like before we were uglified. So we waited till we thought the magician was asleep, and we crept upstairs to look in his magic book, and we couldn't find anything in the way of a spell for taking off the ugliness. We saw a spell for making people invisible. We thought being invisible would be better than being ugly. The long and short of it is, we're tired of being invisible. We've been waiting for ever so long for a nice little girl from foreign parts that would go upstairs and go to the magic book and find the spell that takes off the invisibleness. For it's got to be a little girl or else the magician himself. Don't ask me why, or it won't work.
But why do you want me to do this? Why can't one of your own people?
Oh, no, we can't go upstairs again. Oh, dangerous.
You're asking this lady to face some danger, which you then ask your own sisters and daughters to face.
Would I have to go upstairs at night?
Oh, good daylight, to be sure. Not at night. No one's asking you to do that. Oh, no.
Well, all right then. I'll do it.
No, Lucy, you can't.
Don't try to stop me. Can't you see it's no use? There's dozens of them. We can't fight them. Let me do it and get it over with.